Good morning, good morning. We're a little early today. All right. Good morning. This is Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. And officially, today, I have founded the American Socialist Party, mostly on a technicality and also because I misread or what's written on the FEC.gov website has changed. So I was probably under the wrong impression that I had to have a bank account and tax ID, having raised or spent a certain amount of money before I actually established the American Socialist Party. But I actually just read the website wrong, or it's changed. I'm willing to also say I could I could have been initially right and am now wrong. Okay. Coat defense, like the coat. Yeah. Okay. So what I need you to do, okay, what I need you to do is understand there's intentionality in everything that we do. Okay? Yeah, no shit. How disappointing. Okay? Listen to me. The first account we created, okay, this morning, the American Socialist Party, americansocialist.bluesky.social. Okay? You'll see our seventh edition. So seven uh, back and forths between me and Kat, our artist, to produce our hand drawn logo. The American Socialist Party, a grassroots political party, should not have gotten its imagery from AI. And we actually used an artist. We went back and forth. I had my original idea. We had an original, here's my original idea back from the artist, and we went back and forth until we were able to produce our logo, which again, I think symbolism and intention are like real things, and the things that you say and the things that you do should like match up pretty good, pretty close, you know? So hey, you can do that, okay? You can, join this group on Facebook, okay? The American Socialist Party public group. Okay, go on morning. Twitter. Follow the American Socialist Party, where our handle on Twitter is a socialist party. Okay. And today, before we get going, one of the things I want to talk about. So while you go do that on Facebook, Twitter, um, and Blue Sky, okay, okay. I mean, don't do it now, but eventually you'll want to look at. Now, I'm not on them either, but the platform pushing our political party is gonna be for fucking sure, right? hmm You want to get in front of the largest audiences with your most important message. Yep. So personally, me personally, not on Facebook, not on Twitter. Okay, but I'm gonna post our content there. I'm actually gonna use a third-party tool called Hootsuite to post content for the American Socialist Party, and won't actually use the apps. Except I do think on Facebook, because it's a group. Yeah. Okay. So, while you go like, follow, join those groups, okay? Know that we also have, I'm proffering Justice's Waiting Room's Discord channel because it's small, and say, hey, you can join a Discord, okay? So we have a community, okay, that we're building. You ever wanted to look at whose fault all this is? Looking back at the end of your life, you will be looking at me as the founder of the American Socialist Party. Fucking book it, Dano. Okay? So, in about 40 minutes, our ban ends on TikTok. We'll go live on TikTok. I'm going to be live right up against when I got to be at work. Okay? A lot of people I can see are kind of wanting to talk about what happened yesterday. It felt like that was rehearsed as fuck. Let me start by saying that. I think Donald Trump thinks he's on a reality TV show, including this will be great television come out of his mouth. So, one of the things that I'll always wonder is it worth it? Like, are they just cheap tricks? And I'm talking about Trump and Vance. Were you just cheap tricks? Because not talented, not doing anything in that room to make you buy in to the idea that they have our best interest as Americans, or the best interest of saving as many people as possible, or affording peace between Russia and Ukraine. They're doing none of that shit. Yeah, asking why didn't you wear a suit? I saw an image today of Vladimir Zelensky walking around with a battle armor on, and that's his fucking suit, sir or ma'am. Okay. So for the record, Vladimir Zelensky bought democracy to Ukraine and has to fight Europe to keep a hold of it. Has to fight Russia to keep a hold of it. Okay. So obviously, uh, yeah, they didn't definitely didn't come off tough. Um, one of the more famous Marines, who I don't know who it was, that actually works at the U.S. Capitol, said, "Oh shit, JD Vance is such a pogue." Which, if you weren't in the Marine Corps, that doesn't mean anything to you. Okay. Um, it's hard to say it without just having a fucking smirk on your face. But there's this, when I was joining the Marine Corps, I was on an open contract. Okay, I was willing to give my life for my country, dead ass. I lost 100 pounds in 90 days willingly, and fucking walked into MEPS on an open contract at a Marine Corps, and sat down in front of an old gunny, old man, old enough to be my dad, and he said, "You're 22. What'd you do after high school?" I said, "I went to Purdue to be a pilot and an air traffic controller." And he said, "Enlisting, you can't expect to be a pilot or air traffic controller. There aren't any openings. You're on an open contract." He said, "So you could have got sent you could be cooking food somewhere. And I was like, yeah, I figured I'd have a conversation with you though. And he was like, yeah, you got a really high ASVAB. So there's a test when you join the military. And he's like, so you could really do any of these jobs, any job. And he's like, but here's where I need you. I need you in the infantry. I need smart people in the infantry. Smart, responsible people at the tip of the spear. And I was like, the front fucking lines? And he was like, yeah, yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Because you're smart. You'll figure out how to survive. And he told me about the jobs within the infantry. Um, and ultimately his big selling point was over the next 4 years, you're not going to have a lot of money. You don't get paid a lot of money to serve, but you won't have to worry about paying for rent, health care, food. You don't have to have a car to do this. All you do is show up for work every day. I, sir, have a good attitude. It'll be fine. And the best part about it is you'll be outside all the time. Rain, snow, it literally doesn't matter. You are not going to sit in an office. Fine, I'll do it. I'll join the fucking infantry. I'll do it. And dead ass, I sat in an office because I was a smart guy and they didn't want me out there fucking around getting hurt. So even though I enlisted instead of just going to OCS and becoming an officer, even though I wanted to be, and I was in the fucking infantry during a time of war, and we did spend a lot of time outside, I still got pulled into the company office and basically sat at a computer because I knew how to use all these programs that nobody knew how to use, all the way up to the company commander who did not know how to use fucking Excel. And that's no disrespect to Captain Braun. He knew a whole lot of other shit, like how to fight a war, um, and how to lead people. But computers were still sort of a, like men historically have been averse to change and growth. Okay. So understand, jokingly, when you're in the infantry, you make fun of other Marines that work in an office all day. It's just a camaraderie thing. And you call people pogues, personnel other than grunt. Pogue, P-O-G. And it's basically, it's kind of an insult to non-grunts when you call someone a fucking pogue. Um, So I just want to make sure everybody knows that like senior Marines to me that work on Capitol Hill are calling JD Vance coming out of that meeting a fucking pogue ass bitch. Like he's exactly what you would expect if you were in the Marine Corps, every Marine a rifleman, but he worked in a fucking office. And so he lacks a certain um feng shui, if you will. He can't get down. He has no funk. He gets drunk and fucks couches. Do we get it now? Do you understand now? Where are the treasonerists at? Right? So, I wanted to say all that shit. That was fucking hilarious to me that coming out of that meeting, the people that work on Capitol Hill that were Marines are looking at JD Vance like you fucking punk, basically. Like, that's fucking ting. Like, hey, it'd be different. I'd be mad or sad or some shit if those guys were like, yeah, that's like he's the fucking man. And it's like, nah, dog. all them fucking Marines that are like elected officials or they work in the media or they're a staffer on Capitol Hill are like, he's a fucking punk ass bitch. Like he's a heartbeat from getting his ass beat. That's what I'm saying. Like JD Vance is gonna shit his pants. Ah, because that's when we talk about danger. You want to talk about danger being disliked by an entire group of people. Yeah, y'all want to keep making shit like left right. No, there's some like super small subsects of the U.S. population that like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of them. That's for fucking sure. Okay. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, Jared, you're a veteran. You talk about being in the Marine Corps all the time. You founded the American Socialist Party and don't mention anywhere that it was like founded by a veteran. And one of the things that I want to make sure that I say, because I do talk about being in the service and I am a fucking Marine, I am not going to make a political party about me. I am me. The American Socialist Party is the American Socialist Party. It is a political party that is a necessary step for the American people. We need everyone to understand in the United States and all over the world that we know we're not stupid. We have been taught that socialism is bad. And I looked it up. Historically, what are the arguments against socialism? I'll tell you. People are lazy and they won't work hard. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Okay. I've worked 2+ jobs my entire fucking life, and that includes when I was receiving fucking universal health care, when my education was free, when I was getting COLA, right? I still worked 2+ jobs. I was still trying to take care of the people around me. You understand what I'm saying? So like there are a lot of people that will receiveth benefits and they want to pull the ladder door up behind them and take off in their spaceship and leave this shit behind. I just want to make sure that I say there's nowhere to go. We're all stuck here together. And I posted a link to an article yesterday about near human extinction events. And I've been saying it my whole fucking life. If we don't make an about face, do you get what I'm saying? Do you know what an about face means? Turn the opposite way which you were facing. Our democracy's over and we have free fallen into fascism, authoritarianism, a dictatorship, a kleptocracy, like an oligarchy, whatever the fuck trendy fucking name you want to call that. And I'm literally sacrificing myself. I have absolutely no desire to run for public office. I'm not educated enough to do that. I have no desire to be POTUS, right? But I can see the solution to the problem. And the problem, so you got to identify the problems first. The rising cost of living and economic instability. Dead ass. Billionaires will literally buy an election, build prisons, imprison the people they disagree with, and use them as slave labor before they will let their workforce unionize to get better pay and benefits. That that's where we are and that's where we're headed. Now, what is the antithesis? What's the opposite of where we are, where we're headed? Here's what I'll tell you. Where we are right now is corporations are losing billions of dollars because they've eliminated DEI programs. Target 10%. Walmart down. The antithesis of that is socialism, the very definition of which starts with any egalitarian social or economic theory. And a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck is egalitarian? I'm done. This is too big of words. My brain can't. Pro equality. Pro equality. The elimination of DEI programs, celebrating and doing business with companies that have DEI programs. Do you understand socialism now? It is the opposite in which we feels like we're living in the fucking upside down. Socialism, pro equality. You see how look, hey, I'm one of those people. If you are out here constantly blaming Republicans for everything and you cannot blame the Democratic Party for anything, you're part of the problem. Mostly it's just denial. Okay? But when you look at the Republican Party, they are not pro-union. They're pro-billionaire. Okay? So now look at the Democrats. The Democrats are supposed to also be pro-union. Okay? So the Republicans are pro-billionaire wealthy class, right? The Democrats are also supported by billionaires and also have shown anti-union tactic. So in my eyes, as it refers to unions, I'm being very specific, talking about unions. I see the Democrat and Republican Party as the same. Anti-union. What is the antithesis of being anti-union? Pro-union. So what I did was, when I was like, well, socialism is any pro-equality social or economic theory based on the social ownership of business. What is the social ownership of business? I'll explain. It's a great thing we can do. It's our first group project. Is everybody ready? I'm giving everybody a group project today. The Tesla stock is in a fucking free fall because Elon Musk is a dumbass. When that stock gets in your buying range, meaning you can afford to buy a share or shares, I want socialists, people like me and you, buy. That way the people come to socially own these very corporations that are headed by the billionaire class that doesn't want to pay their fair share of taxes and is literally willing to buy an election, build prisons, imprison their political opponents, and force them to do slave labor. That's the right. Okay? What is the opposite of being anti-union, being pro-union, pro-equality, pro-union? What sort of platform ideals should a socialist ascribe? Pretty easy. The number one issue coming into this election and coming out of this election, what was the most important thing to every single voter in this past 2024 US election? Economic stability. So therefore, what is the most important platform idea that a socialist should have? Universal income. So I think the government should give everyone $500 every Friday. Thanks for playing. Hmm? How about a couple $1,000s a month? Would that make you more economically stable? Now, understand you could be the kind of person that doesn't need it, Jared. What if I don't need it? What if that money's not going to help me? Well, because of not enough? What kind of hole are you in? Right? But if the most important single topic, single issue that voters were worried about going into the 2024 US election, what is the most important policy point for a socialist? Universal income. Now, what's up there? What else is up there, Jared? If okay, if economic stability was so important to voters, what was the next most important thing? See? Our artist, Kat, who's been working around the clock, literally 2 jobs plus helped create this logo that I anticipate seeing on my deathbed. Some form of it. hmm Congratulations. So, what's the second most important thing? The rising cost of healthcare. Okay. How do you fight the rising cost of healthcare? And I'd add, how do you fight the rising cost of healthcare and the fact that the US healthcare system is failing per their own executives? See United Healthcare in the wake of the Luigi Mangione righteous fire upon Brian Thompson. Um, may he rest in pieces. That United Healthcare's claim denial rate went up. They deny 4% more. So if you thought that you were cutting the head off that snake, nope. So what? How do you fight that? How do you fight that? One, you could just ensure the failure of the U.S. healthcare system, and chaos is what you'd wish upon that system. But I just happen to have worked in that industry, and a disruption in the healthcare system costs people. And as a socialist, I don't want to support policies that cost people. What I want these healthcare companies to do is offer socialized healthcare to the public. They offer this healthcare in 33 of 34 developed countries. So these same healthcare companies in the United States that charge you hundreds of dollars a month for healthcare, they offer you socialized healthcare in 33 of 34 developed countries. Why can't they just do that here? Especially when you look at how much money they're making. And you understand that Americans are not the reason that these healthcare companies are profiting into the billions. So think about this. All the money that you pay for healthcare isn't even that important to them. They're not making that much money off you. So I think universal healthcare, tell all these healthcare companies to just offer the socialized healthcare that you do in every other country here. hmm It doesn't, it's negligible the amount of money that you're making off Americans that have to pay for it. Because again, I want to keep pointing this out. A large portion of people enrolled in healthcare in the United States are retirees. Or go out of business. Because all it takes is one healthcare company to say Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente says what he's saying aligns with what we're doing as an organization, where they have the lowest claim denial rate, where they want everyone to have health care. And we think we could offer socialized healthcare like Jared Malata, the founder of the American Socialists. But see, now you have alignment, right? A organization that is willing to align and say we'll offer socialized healthcare. Now their enrollment booms, their profit margin goes up, their stocks soar. And now that you've heard me talk about the stock market out loud, obviously, when it comes to politics, we need to ban stock trading among politicians and especially punish insider trading. It is absolutely criminal that an elected official would get into office with the expectation of you are a public servant. You serve your constituents. And you think the best way to do that is to stock trade and insider trade. You mean having an unfair competitive advantage against all other American citizens because you're privy to information that they're not? Okay, that's scumbag as fuck. Right? And it ain't Democrat, Republican. They're all doing it. Yep. Yep. And it's super frustrating seeing people that were in the military that have gotten socialism that didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to pay rent, pay for healthcare, pay for food, pay for education. All you had to do is what you're told. And it's just like regular life. In regular life, you just follow the rules at your job and shit and get paid and fucking try to love your family and shit before you die. Right? So I want to make sure I'm saying like I'm spending a good healthy portion because we're gonna reset. We're gonna reset the show at 10:30. We're gonna reset and go to TikTok. But I wanted to spend a healthy portion of the show this morning and say make sure you're joining the group on Facebook, you follow on Blue Sky or you follow on Twitter the American Socialist Party. You can search for it now. I've officially founded it today. We put uh, graphics on accounts, and as far as I'm concerned, if you produce a hand drawn graphic and you put that on social media accounts in the modern era, that's as good as a stone on the earth with a sword in it, right? Okay. So I'm not on Facebook now. I created a group on Facebook for the American Socialist Party. That's a public group. I'm gonna I'm gonna post content for the American Socialist Party in the group. I'm gonna post it on Twitter and I'm gonna post it on Blue Sky. Uh huh. Okay. I know a lot of people are like, "What? We're on those sites now?" Nope. I'm not scrolling them. I'm not looking at them for information. I'm not doom scrolling nowhere. Nobody is doing that to me ever again. I let myself get so down looking looking around and I've realized like talk more, doom scroll less. Do more, doom scroll less. That's not helping us. Okay? So that's the main thing. How much for you to pop a titty? You're hilarious. Toot that thing up, mommy, make it drop. You're funny. Now, as far as what happened, I wanted to save that until we were on TikTok with an audience where we talk about and I'm only doing it because there'll be tons of people and people are going to want to know what do you think about what happened in the Oval Office. It was rehearsed. It was deeply unserious. Um, Donald Trump is despicable. JD Vance is a fucking turd. Vladimir Zelensky came out of that looking incredible. What do you think I was gonna say? You know what I mean? Like at one point, Vladimir Zelensky is like looking at the camera while Donald Trump's losing his shit, and he's like, "Are you seeing this shit?" Hell yeah! The high school band playing Rage Against the Machine. It's awesome. Okay. Like you know how I'm ready to propagandize? The first piece of content I posted today was reading Martin Niemöller's First They Came, right? The poem about first they came for the ba 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 and I ba 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 ba. You know what I noticed today? Socialists and unionists are one line apart next to each other in that poem from like 75 years ago. It's interesting, isn't it? And I already know the next thing I'm sharing is don't be a sucker, right? Start with Martin Niemöller's First They Came, then you share don't be a sucker. Okay? Yeah. I was gonna say there are DSA members. Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Bernie, right? There are people capable of fundraising all of their money from individuals rather than having to accept money from PACs. Okay? So the good news is I feel real good about it. On all three sites, our first follows were AOC, Bernie, and the AFL-CIO. I think I had to follow my wife when I made the Facebook page. I think I had to follow someone in order to complete it. Okay. Also, titty pop. Y'all are funny. This is why Clapper's kind of goofy, right? Uh, I got people on Clapper being like, "How much money for you to bust out a titty?" You know what I mean? And you're like, "We ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that." But multiple people have asked. Yeah, AOC, Bernie, and the AFL-CIO, which is like a 15 million person union in the United States. Okay. So the way, and again, everything is symbols. Every little action matters, right? The hand drawn logo, the first follows on all three sites, AOC, Bernie, AFL CIO, right? Those things matter. In like the long run, they'll be like, who do they follow for? Well, the people that they aligned with, right? The people that they foresaw, those people need a place to go. The DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, which again, that's not a political party. That's not our enemy. They're a fundraising group. Does everyone understand this? Okay. So, of course, we want their money from the DSA, but you still want most of your money. YouTube, because I can post links. Yeah, logo's great. Logo's great. Okay. Yeah, Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if she's a DSA kid though. You can be good at your job and be just an establishment Democrat, you know? People that aren't afraid. How about that? But for the here's what I think. I think that you'll talk to people that'll say socialism will never work because America is a two-party system, and that's a lie. So there have been four political parties in the United States that have actually won elections. So independent, libertarian, Democrat, Republic. That's four, and that's modern. And over the whole course of history, there's a dozen fucking political parties in the United States. Easy. Okay. The American Socialist Party is a party for everyone, right? And the first question will be, how do you pay for that? How do you pay for socialism? And there are multiple ways to pay for it. So people always ask, how do you pay for socialism? First and foremost, you could just federally legalize marijuana. And there's a reason that you build a political party that the socialists want legal weed. It will become a cash crop in the United States. It will help us recover our soil quality. It fits in with climate change drying us out, as cannabis needs a dry climate to grow in the best. And again, one of the main, keep in mind, one of the main reasons that I'm even talking about that is because planting trees is not as it doesn't have as much benefit as it used to have. Trees don't absorb they don't absorb carbon like they used to. Okay, but and hemp groves can offset humidity. And ask me how I know this. My cousin worked for the DEA, and they had to torch entire fields in Kentucky, 500 acres that were naturally growing cannabis. And you know what he told me? Humid as fuck that day, but not in that field. Think about what I just told you. Anyway, so not in that field, it completely wipes out humidity. It's because cannabis fronds, if you've ever seen them, they grow central and they sprout out the top and down, so they create like a natural canopy. hmm hmm Yeah, my cousin was in Maxim magazine. His name was Scott McIntosh. hmm Yeah, hemp groves can offset humidity. So if you, and I'm just one of those people, I see problems, I look for solutions, right? I think, man, we're all gonna burn to death. It's gonna get too hot for us to live. What's gonna kill us first? Humidity, heat and humidity. hmm So we need uh we need socialism. We need to legalize cannabis, use it as a cash crop, use the tax money that we collect to pay for socialism. Ba-na! That's just the one way to pay for it. You could also make a slight change to the tax code. It costs you about $2,000 at the end of the year when you go to pay taxes, but you'd save on average like $8,000 a year on it. And like I said, as far as universal healthcare, that's just about asking the healthcare companies to socialize their healthcare, and the first company that steps up and does it wins. Offers free healthcare to the public. How do you, that doesn't cost us anything. How do you pay for universal education? Easy. Eliminate student loans and order American universities to eliminate your tuition, and the first one that does wins. And then, so that doesn't also cost us money. Neither of those things cost Americans dollars. Okay? So there's education, there's healthcare. Housing. You know that the government used to build houses, right? In historically, pre and post war. In fact, I lived in one of those houses. So it's not like they haven't built houses. What if the US government used all that tax money that we collected, right, to build houses? We could eliminate homelessness. I know I'm just like spitballing here, wildly out of pocket, but we're unbanned on TikTok. Let's see how this goes. Uh, Excuse me. Every now and then I gotta remind the dogs who's boss. Okay. And we are live on TikTok, my friends. We are back. We are back. We are back. This is Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. And hey, you can first, like we do every day. First, hey, what's up, everybody? Listen to, and I gotta fully disclose some shit once we get everybody in here. Okay. Okay. We're gonna try not to get kicked out today. Okay. So my goal is to use this time to direct people. Okay. Okay. Huh. Gotcha. What is a good fight? Absolutely not. You can officially follow. Okay. You can officially follow the American Socialist Party. There's even a group. Okay. On Facebook. Okay. Okay. So you can consider this where you're looking at me right now in my eyeballs. Okay. Today, March 1st, 2025, I, Jared Malott from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm founding the American Socialist Party. Uh, I thought, and I'm wrong, I thought that in order to be an official political party in the United States registered with the FEC, you have to have a tax ID, a bank account, raise money, all this. You do not have to fucking do that. And you do not have to register with the FEC unless you are going to participate in a federal election. And yes, we are. Okay? Yes, yes, we are. But we're going to take our sweet ass time and do it right. And it starts with me admitting I was wrong. And the reason that this wasn't founded before today is because I thought I had to jump through a bunch of fucking hoops that I don't actually have to do that yet. Because I am not myself a political candidate. I'm not running for office. Okay. So if you want to send an email to me and you want to help with the American Socialist Party, okay, Here's the email for the American Socialist Party. Okay. You'll notice we're not on YouTube. I'm not creating a TikTok. I'm not making an IG or a Threads. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm going to the largest places first. TikTok will not let me connect with you, although I've always followed. Are you the same name on there? So, good morning. Listen to Zombie. Okay. And yeah, I'm absolutely going to pat myself on the back and say, sorry, music got me. We got 5 members. Okay. Sweet. And you can see the hand-drawn logo. Thanks, Kat. And then I wanted to share the link where you could see where I got my information instead of making excuses. So here's the FEC.gov guidance. New party organizations must register with the FEC when they raise or spend money over certain thresholds in connection with a federal election. So I don't have to jump through all those hoops until we raise a bunch of money. Okay. Okay. So that's about the only time I'm gonna ask you for interaction. Is to say like, comment, share those things, join those things, participate in those things. Okay. I never really asked for the like, comment, shares on anything else. Right. Nothing else I'll ever do is as important. Cool. The next move is the website. What I am concerned with as somebody that is a little bit of a computer nerd, it's about database management and ultimately security. Uh, you got to understand they tend to not want socialists, right? All these capitalist pigs out here, they they'll absolutely threaten my life. Right? I just want everyone to know, as of today, March 5th, 2025, I have no known health issues. I work from home. I am completely healthy. Just want to make sure, say that out loud. And I figure I'm gonna pause zombie so I can get through it. I figured the first thing we should talk about outside of the formation of the American Socialist Party, formally for the digital age. Yeah, didn't actually have to jump through all those hoops. It's great to build it sort of like out of the ashes of the economic blackout. Remember, there is a nationwide protest Tuesday, March 4th. We march 4th. Um, so yeah, obviously everyone wanted me to talk about what happened in the Oval Office yesterday. Okay, between Vladimir Zelensky, Donald Trump, and JD Vance, plus a whole bunch, is like the worst thing you've ever seen, really. It was like they jumped Vladimir Zelensky, like they were like taking turns throwing punches. Um, the reality though is a lot of people had, did you hear him say, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend say, how come you didn't wear a suit? Okay. That's because um, Vladimir Zelensky's suit is body armor, and he's actually on the front lines for his country fighting, and he doesn't know anyone a suit. And I also want to point out that not even like a month earlier, Elon Musk sat on the same side of Donald Trump and he actually stood over him with his arms crossed and shit, with a hat and a t-shirt on and a blazer on. So it's so fucking wild for JD Vance to be like, you didn't even wear a suit. You know what I mean? Or not JD Vance. That was Marjorie Taylor Greene's man. But yeah, they were talking about like who started the war. JD Vance said, "How dare you come into the Oval Office of the White House and try to litigate who started a war?" And JD Vance is a fucking idiot. And then yeah. And then um Donald Trump just had an emotional outburst and was absolutely out of control. Has no bearing at all. And you know, hey, the reality of this situation is, if that wasn't exactly what you were expecting, if that isn't exactly what you thought was going to happen, some to some degree, you like maybe not exactly what was going to happen, but like yeah, that was about what I thought was going to happen. They're all wearing suits from Sears. Yeah, it's crazy. That's nice name drop. But yeah, I 100% empathize with people that were like greatly affected. Like that absolutely. People are reaching out to me like that fucked me up real bad. Um and that's their point. That's their purpose. Um I also part of me wants to share some hope. Um but I want to kind of like I don't want to have hope it be false, share hope, y'all have hope and it also be false. And we are like all shit. We got nothing out of this. But I do want to point out, okay, one of the accounts that I do occasionally check Twitter for. It is true. AOC did say we have to be patient because what happened was so massive. Um, but one of the accounts I follow on Twitter said there's a massive investigation, the ICC investigation into Russia, and what's the next move for Russia as far as the ICC is concerned. Apparently, that wrapped up yesterday. And then there's a worldwide investigation going on. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not passing hope. I don't deal in that shit. I deal in these people that I log on to Twitter to look for and see what are they doing, saying type stuff. Are saying, hey, that meeting at the White House was just a big distraction meant to demonize Ukraine. This is what Vladimir Putin wanted. That's what they all got elected to do. Okay. Because Elon Musk wants all of Ukraine's minerals for himself. That's why they wanted to go to Mexico. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Regardless of whether or not stuff's going on in the background, today we founded the American Socialist Party. So everybody should be fucking overjoyed, and it isn't a matter of me being scared. So I want you to know that. It wasn't that I was scared, it's that I'm stupid. I read some shit and I got humbled where I was like, "Oh shit, I got to do a bunch of shit in order to declare a political party." But you actually don't have to do that. You don't actually have to do that. We don't have to register until we have decided to participate in a federal election. Okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to make you mad. They looked powerful. People watched that meeting and felt like Donald Trump, JD Vance, and all them people to the right of them, they were all powerful? Not at all. Hey TikTok, what's up? We're back. You mean Vladimir Zelensky? Oh, I was like, I don't know why you'd be mad. Yeah, hey, I'll put it like this, okay? When I was growing up, there was a bully, okay? The only person that bully never went one on one against was me. The only way that bully ever picked on me was with another person holding me down. So, just want to make sure we throw this out there. Like, you know you're strong when they have to at least have two people. Because honestly, the most democratic thing that Vladimir Zelensky could have done is just taken out Donald Trump. That's why JD Vance was there, right? And then JD Vance is a pogue, so that's why all them other people was there. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know who you are, but I'm good without you in my life. Yeah. He was sitting up straight, dude. Big dick energy, baby. So yeah. So what I'll try to do, yeah, it was all planned. That's what I was saying from the get-go. Make sure you like this, share this, make sure you're following me at the top, okay? Push buttons, push buttons, okay? So that it'll grow. We're like stuck at 38 with no restrictions on TikTok. It's wild. I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. I founded the American Socialist Party. Yeah, Russian reporter. Yeah, I saw that. I kicked the AP out of that. I don't think that our relationships are shattered. I think people are aware that this is Vladimir Putin, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, JD Vance, and the right. Hmm. Come on, Executive Order 13848. Come on, the justice system. That's what we want. Because we want to solve our own problems. We want a functioning democracy. You know, a lot of people are going to ask me, how come you didn't build the Democratic Socialist Party, the DSP? Democracy is only good if it works. I just want to, I just want to point it out. Democracy is only good when it holds. Yeah, we need more social media. We need to like this stuff, share this stuff. Hmm. Okay. The relationships will be restored. Yeah, between all these people. Yeah, the big problem I have with Democrats and Republicans is that they all take money from foreign countries. Whether it's the right, every Republican politician in the United States took money from Russia. Every Republican elected in the United States this cycle took money from Russia. Okay? The 100 elected Democrats took money from AI PAC, including a lot of the heavy hitting Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. One of the things that you have to understand is that there are many members of the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, that run as Democrats. Okay. Like Ilhan Omar, Jasmine Crockett. I don't know that she's a DSA member, but AOC, okay, Rashida Tlaib, okay, morning, Bernie Sanders, the socialist, okay. And so there's a reason that I'm founding the American Socialist Party, and that the first people we followed was AOC, Bernie Sanders, and the AFL-CIO. Okay, wanted to make sure, okay, the first accounts we follow. I'm a big fan of Bernie. When Bernie came and spoke in Indianapolis, I was there outside in the cold with like 20,000 other Hoosiers. Hey, Dirty. There's 50 people in here. Good morning. My name is Jared Malott. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, and today I founded the American Socialist Party. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Okay, and we first created a Blue Sky account symbolically. Okay, love Bernie Sanders. Yep. Okay, so officially, unofficially, you have you have options. You have another options. You have another political party. Okay. Trump supporters lose $12 billion as president's cryptocurrency collapses. Hey, wait, didn't we say there was going to be a rug pull? Didn't we say didn't we say there was going to be a rug pull? Huh, that's weird. Huh, that's weird. Uh well, I mean, if you think about it now, it's about your digital footprint, so it's about Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, right? I don't know how to start a party or what have you, so whatever you say. Well, so the thing about it is there's a place you can go, the FEC. It's just it's under control of the Republicans right now. 12 billion. Trump's crypto lost 12 billion. So you can go there and read. We don't have to officially register with the FEC as a political party until we make money or spend money and intend to participate in a federal election. So we have to get a candidate. Yeah, but I'm not trying to spread the word to you, right? You create those accounts symbolically. We exist, right? That's your founding because this is you technically wouldn't be a official political party until you have a candidate. You have to have a candidate first, right? Like to learn more though. About what? How much? Well, I mean, you spoke, Chuckle, and you said that it's a trap. What's a trap? I want to learn. Sure. But you're not answering my question, and I'm starting to understand why Joanne did that. Do you understand why? What's a trap? TikTok. That took absolutely no time. Okay. And I just want to point out, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so frustrated about the Epstein files. And I just am joking when I say you actually thought with Pam Bondi playing defense that that shit was coming out unredacted. Yeah, you just don't use them. I did tell people to delete them from their phones though. Okay. And I still don't have them on my phone. So I make my content. I'm not making a YouTube channel for ASP. That's because we aren't live there when we're unbanned on TikTok. We were live there until our ban on TikTok was over at 10:30. Hmm. By the way, Luigi Mangione's attorney, by the way, it's okay. I'm not mad. No apologies necessary. But you can look up the American Socialist Party on Facebook, Twitter, and Blue Sky, and I'm gonna be posting this the content I'm making for them for that there. Okay. Great job, Frazzled. Okay. Well, as I've said from moment one, when they perp walked him with handcuffs on and there was all them people, oh, he'll never get sentenced. He'll never get charged. He will never have a fair trial. Okay? Yeah, do what you're willing to do. Okay? Well, what we're hearing, and here's why I think no. I think they're all afraid for their lives. Now, some of them are afraid of, hey man, I don't know how I feel about Russian, like defying the Russians. And some of them are afraid of Trump supporters. Okay? That's what's crazy going on right now. So keep in mind, Republicans are doing what they're doing and voting the way they're voting, not entirely because they're afraid of Russia, but they're afraid of Trump voters, the very people they are voting every day to hurt. So that's such a weird situation, isn't it? I think that's a weird situation. Now, there was also the rumor purported that Democrats were scared for their lives. That also makes sense, but again, if you're scared, go to church. Yeah, no shit, right? Right. And then they bring home the Tate brothers come back to the United States. Okay. But I'm glad to see a bunch of people are like, "But Jared, I don't use those things anymore." That means what I'm telling you is working. It is the American Socialist Party. The problem with calling yourself a democratic socialist is how do you address the non-functioning part of democracy? Like why would I call myself democratic when our elections are not squared up? Why would I even want when your democracy fails over and over again, why would I want to call myself that? Yeah, I'm appalled about what happened too. I'm not like I want socialism because here's what I really think. I was at work the other day and it made me so fucking mad that affected my whole day. If they legalize cannabis and give you socialism, universal health care, education, income, and housing. They eliminate rent for you, they eliminate your cost for health care, eliminate student loans, give you 500 bucks every Friday. What good is the government to you? Now, do you understand why you don't have it? Doesn't that piss you the fuck off? You could have legal cannabis. Legal cannabis could pay for universal health care, education, income, and housing. And that's precisely why you have none of those things. Because what good is the government to you if you're not pissed off about your cost of education, your rent, you know what I mean? You're not constantly pissy talking about wages, right? Because you have the money. And ultimately, you know what it really is? Think about in the position you're in where you're kind of unhappy with the way the world works. Why won't they institute socialism for you? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. They're afraid that you'll have enough money to protect yourself too. They're afraid they won't be able to illegally search and seize your property when you become too loud or annoying. That's why you don't have socialism is because they're afraid we'll become too powerful. Because I've often said, what if you didn't have to pay for rent, health care, student loans, and the government gave you $500 every Friday? I just got restricted. Visibility restricted. For what? For what? We're gonna reset. A thousand viewers. So yeah, TikTok's like that. Here we should hold on. I'm gonna back out, go back in, and change it back to learn live. We got more viewers when we were doing a learn live. Here's a calendar. Dang, you didn't say anything. No, I got restrictions. Sorry, I got restricted. Okay. Yeah. So we for talking about socialism. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna read this. So I'm gonna read a poem to you. I'm gonna read a poem by Pastor Martin Niemöller called "First They Came." And you've heard it before. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and then I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. And I just wanted to point out socialists and unionists are one line apart in that poem. Like, I can't make this shit up. Remember how we've been talking about syndicalist socialism, pro union. Remember how I've been saying unions, everyone joining unions, especially socialists, joining unions, ascending in your role within the union to its leadership, right? Okay. But one of the ways that we make socialism marketable is attach it to other grassroots movements, like the union movement in the United States, where companies all over the country and all over the world are finally unionizing. We want to support unions, and we want socialists to be in charge of those unions, right? Because those head of unions are fighting corporations for better wages and benefits for their union members, right? Well, who do you want going to bat for you in your union? A socialist, somebody who ultimately wants universal health care, education, income, and housing, right? So again, today, March 1st, 2025, I, Jared Malat, officially found the American Socialist Party. Just in have an IRS update yesterday. We were told the 5 bullets email will be a weekly task and we have to comply. Also, our regular time off order will start on March 10th. Yeah. The problem with immediately going to veterans is that you're going to draw ire from veterans, right? Veterans are going to say, fuck socialism, join, vets against tyranny or vets against Trump or um, Democrat vets or whatever, Dem vets or whatever their fucking organization is. The problem I have is there's too many Democrats that are already elected officials that are Democrats that aren't saying anything. And it's like you're going to get more of the same. Oh, return to office. I thought it was regular time off. Okay. Okay. So, see if there's any news to talk about. We did share the schedule. Okay. Any workers whose POD is being forced to report to DC Arizona. Well, I think anybody in the United States, in my humble opinion, anybody in the United States serving in US politics that is not scared and understands that more of the same is not going to work. I know. We already know that the economic blackout was successful. Here's how I know. I have a family member that owns an Amazon route. Okay. And the way what they'll do is they'll send you information on how busy you're supposed to be. Okay. And they got an email saying expect 17% less business this next week. So if you think one day, right, a 1 day economic blackout didn't have repercussions, consider that it cut Amazon traffic by 17 fucking percent. That's incredible work. That's what we're talking about. And understand there's a 1 week Amazon boycott coming. In 1 day costs 17%. What do you think's going to happen when we stop using Amazon for a week? Okay? So, know that congratulations, great job everybody on the Great American Planned Economic Blackout, February 28th, 2025. Congratulations. For not going out and blowing your paycheck. Okay? It has a massive impact. Okay? You've got the weekend to mentally prepare for the week ahead and know that Tuesday is my day off. I will be participating in the protest on March 4th. Your state capital, I'm seeing many places in Missouri, for example, this morning. There's like 10 cities in Missouri that are having protests on March 4th. Okay? So on March 4th, we march forth. And then the 7th to the 14th of March is a whole week we don't shop at Amazon. And then I think it's the 21st through the 28th. Is it 21st through 28th? No Walmart? Is that what it is? I want to make sure I get it right. Nestle. Okay. Nestle. No Nestle from the 21st to the 28th. Okay. So not only will I be doing a morning show, I'll be going to the protest. Okay. On March 14th, okay, is a national strike. I took the day off. Okay, so I switched my shift, or at least I attempted to, the second week there. Okay. Hey again. To be able to participate. Okay. I know. Technically, I was just supposed to, but apparently on the 14th, there's also a Veterans March, your state capital. That's why I took the day off. Okay, it was to be able to participate in a protest for veterans. Okay, on March 14th, your state capital. Okay. Oh, the protests in DC. See, I don't have the income to travel. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. I'm like a minimalist. You have to understand, like minimal content, right? Yeah, I think it had a massive impact. I mean, think about 17%, 1/7, 16, 17%. That's a huge mover. Okay. Now, do all that stuff to say, hey, it's about that time. Okay. I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. Remember, I work now. Okay. Okay. The right key, baby, but the wrong key. Oh, yo. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and we're hearing like your elected officials are greatly affected by your participation in protests, your willingness and ability to download the Goods Unite Us app, download the Five Calls app, start calling your fucking representatives and letting them have an earful and let them know we're coming. Let them know the American Socialist Party is coming. Make sure that you join the group on Facebook, that you follow on Blue Sky, follow on Twitter. That's all I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to post content for that every day. Like I kind of have a lineup of how I want to do it. Okay. The third. So there's a reason that protest on the fourth is timely because it's like if we don't hear anything on the third and there's not a big kerfluffle. Okay. Uh, Potential for growth. Like you want to be where the people are. Mhm. Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky. But we made our account first on Blue Sky. Hmm. And our first follows were AOC Bernie and the AFL-CIO. Okay. All right. You gotta you want to spread your message, right? So you can search Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky for the American Socialist Party. Founded by yours truly today. Doing the fucking thing. All right. I'm gonna stick around. Let the song play. Have a good day. Remember, control what you can control. Nothing changed. 8+ hours of sleep. Eat right, exercise, hydrate. What I want to do is I want to encourage people to make their own merch and try not to have a capitalist approach on merchandise. I would love to um, have merch, like official merch, but the more I think about it, I'm like, that's a capitalist approach. What would a socialist do? Encourage people to be artistic, create, make make our logo. We have a hand drawn logo to start with. Why? Because that's what a socialist would do, would be social about the very creation of the logo for this party instead of just like go to AI and just type some stuff in and have AI do it, which is what people totally do when they start businesses because it's fast and you don't have to pay an artist, right? So what I want to do with the American Socialist Party is having you make your own shit. Hey, here's the snake, right? print that off, make it into an iron-on, put it on your own clothes. Hey, I think that the Futura Bold Extra Black, which is the same script that Nike uses, looks great. You have to download it to Windows so you can use it. hmm I think the party color is gold, okay? Because we're the gold standard by which all other socialist parties will be measured. What platform did you have? How far out did you think about this shit? All right. So hey, have a good day. See you tomorrow. Yeah. So understand, I produce. Cat produced the logo. We put it out there. We say we need a graphic designer to get a hold of that and vector it so that it looks like the other political party logos. But we came out with first a hand drawn logo. That's very like socialist of us. Okay. Okay.